Welcome to your Friday's Maths lesson, Year 4. I hope you're all well and staying safe. To get prepared, you need paper, pencil, and a ruler. After you've got your material, write today's date and the learning intention neatly, and then underline it. The learning intention is to answer comparison, sum, and difference questions. Pause here while you get that done. 7 up is our number warm-up task. Here you have to put the numbers in red into the circle so that each straight line of 3 numbers add up to give you the same total. You're going to pause here while you have a go and enjoy. So Thinking Tom says, 35 children were asked about their favorite fruit. What do you think? Convince me. Have a look at Thinking Tom's statement again, and then look at the data that's in front of you and see if you agree. Right, how did you work it out whether or not you agreed? So what you had to do was count up the total number of votes. So beside each fruit, go to each set of tallies and total them, and you should get a number in total. So let's do this together and see if we can come up with the same answer. So we've got the biggest tally first. Let's start with banana, which is 13. 13 add 8. Apples had 8 votes. There's 21. 21 add 8 again beside peach would be 29. And finally 29 plus 5, which is the pear votes, equals 34. If you got 34, fantastic, that's brilliant counting. And so to answer Tom, we can say, I don't think so. 34 children were asked about their favorite fruit because 8 plus 13 plus 8 plus 5 equals 34. It's Thinking Tom again. This time he says 4 fewer children spelled penguin correctly than spelled chimpanzee correctly. And the data this time is displayed on a bar chart. So I've counted up the number of penguins, which is 9 because it sits between the 8 and 10. And have I counted chimpanzee correctly? It says 13 next to my word up there. And if I look on the bar chart, chimpanzee sits between 12 and 14, so both figures are correct. So we're comparing whether Tom's right when he says 4 fewer children spelled penguin correctly than spelled chimpanzee correctly. So we're working out the difference here. So when we work out the difference, it would help to do a subtraction sum. So you'd subtract the smaller number from the bigger number, and that's easy to see here because we know the sum's going to be 13 minus 9. And 13 minus 9 equals 4, so Tom is right. And you can show him the subtraction sum you've done. Let's explore solving how many or fewer questions. On the slide we have data presented that shows a bus terminal and buses arriving and departing at regular intervals. The picture graph shows the number of buses that departed the bus terminal in 1 week. And we're going to use the graph and the key to answer questions. On which day did 55 buses depart? So I go to the graph and we know the key on the key one bus image represents 10 buses. So got to remember when we're counting. And we know there's 40 buses departed on Sunday. And then there's one extra, so that's 50 buses on Monday. Tuesday looks a little strange because there's 4 buses, so that equals 40 buses if we're counting in steps of 10. And then there's half a bus. To work out the half a bus, we split 10 into 2 because half of 10 equals 5, so that means 45 buses departed on Tuesday. Wednesday it says 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 buses, so it can't be Wednesday. And let's go to Thursday. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 buses. No, not Thursday. Friday's got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and half a bus. That's got to be 5. So that's 55 buses. On which day did 55 buses depart? It's got to be Friday. Did you get Friday? Fantastic. Next question, which is the terminal's busiest day? So that's going to be straightforward because you're going to look at the day with the most number of buses, and it's easy to see on this picture graph. And Wednesday is correct. How many buses departed on this day? How many buses departed on Wednesday? Let's count together. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 buses. How many buses leave on Tuesday? 10, 20, 30, 40, 45 buses. Here's that question with how many more. So how many more buses depart on Friday than Saturday? Now, you need 2 numbers here. You need the number of buses that departed on Friday, and let's find that out. So it's 55, and Saturday is 40. And you're going to do a subtraction sum to work it out. So it's 55 minus 40. Or you can go back to the graph and you can look at the pictures and you can see the difference down the bottom. There is along Friday, you've got an extra bus and a half a bus, so that's 10 at 5, and that helps you work out the difference. The difference between Friday and Saturday is 15. Pause here and see if you can come up with your own how many more bus questions. Here are some questions I came up with. How many more buses depart on Monday than Sunday? 10 more buses. That's my number sentence. How many more buses depart on Wednesday than Tuesday? And I've worked out 25. 10 fewer buses departed on Monday than on Sunday, true or false? And I've said true, because the difference between the number of buses departing on Sunday and Monday is 10. Did you come up with any of the same? If not, just check your answers, look back on the graph, and well done for having a go. And here is a rainfall graph for October. And question 1 says, which city had the highest rainfall? This is a straightforward question, not a comparison, sum or difference. And you know it's Rome, because Rome, as you can see, had 100 millimeters of rainfall. The next question is a comparison question. Which cities had rainfall between 70 millimeter and 90 millimeter? So go back to the graph and have a look, and it can't be Paris because that's way below 70. And the 2 cities which had rainfall between 70 and 90 millimeter are London and Sydney. London having rainfall of 75 millimeter and Sydney has 80 millimeter. And we know it can't be Tokyo because that's greater than 90 millimeter. Okay, so it's really important to read the questions carefully and reread so we understand and we can answer them successfully. Pause here and see what comparison questions you can come up with. Here you have data on eye color. Pause the screen and make your own questions for the data. You can use the sentence down below. In red here are some of my examples. How many more adults have green eyes than blue eyes? 2 fewer adults have brown than green eye color. Pause the video and have a go. For the 1-star task, you have to make up your own questions about the zoo pictogram. Here's one I made earlier. How many sharks does the zoo have? After you've made up your questions, you can test the grown-ups at home. Pause here to have a go. Here is a challenge task. Here's Tom's survey of the most popular cars in his village, and he's presented it on a pictogram. Each little car picture represents a value of 5. I've got questions on the right. How many Honda cars are there? Which was the most popular car make? What is the total number of cars shown on the pictogram? And then you have a mission. You're going to look through your window and create your pictogram. Count up the cars you see in your area and create it. Remember to include your key and take pictures to send your work through email. Don't forget to compare your results to Tom's results. On Purple Mash, you have a Year 4 Maths blog. You can go on there on the home page by clicking on sharing and then on shared blogs, and you get to this page. Then you can have a go on the pictograms. There are multiplication activities as well. Have a lovely weekend and stay safe, Year 4.